Greetings, friends and Warhammer fans! I am Monkey, welcome to the Box Fort, and it is, once again, time for This Week in Warhammer. Sorry, did I say Warhammer? I meant Warhammer. So this week is actually a surprisingly long list of releases for the classic game modes within the Warhammer franchise. And I don't know about you, I'm kind of excited about both of these. More fantasy than Horus Heresy, but still, both are very cool. We have a gigantic release for Horus Heresy, like huge. There is a stunning amount of models, and I was not expecting them to come out this quickly, to be totally honest. We also have the continuation of the incredibly successful, yet also somehow completely disastrous, release of the Old World. So yes, if you like this video, please like it. If you actually liked the video, please subscribe. And there's a comment section down there. Tell me why you're excited for the dwarves, definitely 100% without question, being announced at Adepticon this week. Also, are you going to be staying up till 3 AM to watch Adepticon live? Because for some reason I think I will. No, I'm not pleased with myself. Anyway, on with the video. So we start out, of course, with the big news, the Orc and Goblin Tribes Battalion. This looks beautiful. So it's not going to be the full big release that you had for Bretonia and the Tomb Kings, which I'm kind of pleased about. Also, maybe slightly disappointed about, because it was kind of nice getting like a set of dice, the book, the rule, like the full starter set experience. But it does kind of make sense, because by this point, if you're interested in Old World, you probably already have the rule book, you have a bunch of information. You probably have dice. I currently do not, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, but soon. So with this, you get 40 goblins that you can build pretty much any way you want. Here they've got 20 with spears and shields, 20 with short bows. You get 31 orc boys and 2 boar chariots, which it's not as big as the previous releases, but I kind of like the fact it's not that big, because they have so much stuff releasing alongside it as well, that I feel like it fills out that niche quite nicely. But yeah, there's so much releasing alongside them as well that I feel like you can quite quickly and easily fill up those ranks. Not to mention the fact that there's still a lot in Age of Sigmar that you can put into this list and make it work, because a lot of these models didn't necessarily go away. But so far as what you can bolster your ranks with, you have the Black Orc Big Boss, who he's an impressive friend. The only downside is he is Forge World resin. Not a fan of Forge World resin, personally. Love the end result, hate working with it. You also get the Orc Warboss on Wyvern. I'm not sure what ratio of resin and plastic there is going on here, because it mentions both. So I don't know if it's the boss is resin and the dragon is plastic. It just says classic plastic dragon wings sprue. I'm unfamiliar with this model, so I don't know what the ratio of materials is. Personally, I would have just made the damn thing plastic, but that's just me. Part of me feels like I'm going to need to censor this image, but we do indeed have the Troll Hag. I don't have experience with this. I am just very, very uncomfortable looking at them big swinging titties. Things that I'm slightly less uncomfortable looking at here. So in this first set, we have 2 orc war bosses, one with a great weapon, one with a banner. This one I'm actually kind of interested in, because, I mean, just look at him. So the second set includes 3 miniatures, a Night Goblin war boss on a giant cave squig. Love him. Look at him. He's adorable. A Night Goblin big boss with a battle standard, and a Night Goblin shaman who's either having a very good time or a very bad one. It's kind of hard to tell with goblins. Like, their good experiences and bad experiences look kind of similar. So returning in plastic, you have 2 bosses, one on foot, one on a boar mount. You also have that big block of 31 orc boys running around, which you gotta love. It's the backbone of your army, and they are spectacular miniatures to this day. Returning in metal, sorry, I love that. Like, you can tell the handcrafted miniatures. There's something very goofy about them, but it just makes them so much more fun. Like, yeah, the new models objectively look better, the proportions are nicer, but there's just something really fun about a hand-sculpted, slightly goofy-looking miniature. How do you not love these? Look at them, they're great. We have some classic goblins returning in plastic and metal. I'm not entirely sure which ones are returning as which, but I mean, it's just such a wonderful little range. Look at these guys. Just look at them. They are absolutely spectacular. I want to make a Batman joke, but I don't have a good enough Batman joke. It's a goblin wolf chariot. Like, what more do you want me to say? Look at him. He is spectacular. We also have the classic orc and goblin gubbins in metal, because of course we have words like gubbins in this. I believe those are rock trolls. I'm not sure. Either way, trolls, very cool. Swarm bases of goblins, which I'm actually unfamiliar with, but I do kind of like them. They're very, very cute. I don't know what's happening here, but I feel like it would be very entertaining to watch in motion. We all know what's happening here. Goblin with red flag has to be going on a flying trip, right? There's no way he survives that trebuchet. We got the ballista, which... I'm sorry, bolt throwers are just cool. Like, objectively, bolt throwers are just cool. I have many fond memories of seeing this in my local GW when I was very, very young. This miniature immediately made me laugh every single time. So good. We also have Giant and Bone Grinder Giant. Like, those are two very different scales for both giants. These guys look terrifying. God, I want to see them on a table. And along with all this, you of course have all of the reading bits, which... If you're collecting orcs and goblins, why read? Orcs and goblins don't read, don't be foolish. But you have the Arcane Journal, and then you also have the cards and dice, which, look forward to seeing them on eBay. Moving on from the old worlds of Warhammer, we are now at the Horus Heresy. Campaigns in the Age of Darkness. The Battle for Beta Garmon. I probably said that wrong. I apologize. Campaign book. I don't know much about the campaign books. I don't pay that much attention to them. I like the overarching narrative story in the novels. When it comes to the game, I'm very much more kind of, this is the battle we're playing right now. So the Solar Auxilia infantry sections are coming in 3 separate boxes. You have the Las Rifle section, the Tactical Command section, and the Veteran Storm selection. So we have, of course, your Lasman. You have your company commands of a description, and then you have your big chunky elites. These guys look really cool. I actually wouldn't mind making these into Nurgle just for the funsies. Immediately moving on to the, oh my god, kaboom. So in the future, I plan on working on a Heretic Guard army, and part of me really wants to use these tanks instead of the current tanks that you can get for the Astra Militarum, just because these guys feel a lot more heretical. Like, the Heretics have all the old school tanks and the scavenged armor and all of the cool old stuff, and I like that idea, so I'm probably going to invest in quite a few of these in the future. But you have the Malkador Heavy Tank. You have the Lehman Russ Assault and Strike Tanks. These are 2 separate kits. Do not be fooled by the branding. The Solar Auxilia Dracasan Armored Transport. I've probably said that wrong. Jesus. I'm going to get so many people getting angry at me in the comments, just like, oh my god, how can you not say that word? I'm dumb. I'm sorry. And the boy that I'm very excited about, the Solar Auxilia Atheon Heavy Sentinel. I want to use this guy in my aforementioned Heretic Guard list as the Armored Sentinel. I don't know the size comparison, but he looks far more like an Armored Sentinel than the Armored Sentinels do. So I'm probably going to end up corrupting this guy in the name of chaos. I'm sorry. Because I have the Horus Heresy transfer sheets. They're transfer sheets. I don't know what to say about them. Coming from the Black Library, we have the Lord of Excess. I now regret saying that we are coming from the Black Library because it's Emperor's Children. I'm unfamiliar with the author, but Emperor's Children tend to be fun in the novels if you got a strong enough stomach for it, really, I guess is the way I'd put it. I personally find Slaanesh more gross than Nurgle. But I'm a Nurgle fanboy, so that's just kind of where I am with it. And we have your typical Warhammer Plus Lore Masters and Painting Masterclass. Object source lighting, actually kind of an interesting one. I might have a look at that just to see. There are other videos out there that have covered it, but I'd be curious to see what Warhammer themselves are saying, hey, this is how you should do it. And now we do the summarizing thing where we do the summarizing. Orc boys. Big orc boy. Big orc boy on big good boy. I'm uncomfortable. Lots of boys. So many boys. Oh my god, look at all of these boys. Nothing but gobbly boys. Gubbins. Very big boys. Book. eBay fodder. Another book. Look at the las boys. Commandy boys. Fancy boys. Big tanky boy. Small tanky boy. Another tanky boy. Look at the big boy. It's another book. But yes, that was This Week in Warhammer. If you've made it this far, you kind of have to like the video. You don't have to, I just really want you to. It would make things a lot better for me if people would watch this far and then like the video and maybe subscribe.